For such an important and loved part of the menu, desserts are sometimes forgotten about, and we all get very, very busy and focus on the main and forget about dessert. Now, if you've done that like I have, this is a nice simple one that will get you out of trouble. Now this works because it takes advantage of rhubarb cooking quickly. We are going to chop it quite small so that it does cook really quickly. So rhubarb, I'm just going to slice it into really thin slices. Like so. And I've got about 200 grams worth to get through here. So quite a bit of chopping, but rhubarb is really good to practice your knife skills on because you have a nice flat surface, so your knife's not going anywhere, and you can get into that motion of rocking the blade back and forth. Next two pieces. And then once you get that technique right of folding your fingers under, you should be able to lift your eyes, have a conversation with someone, and keep chopping. And not, gotcha. That's our rhubarb done. Now in with our thinly sliced rhubarb, we're going to pop about 3/4 of a cup of sugar, caster sugar. Give that a mix through. And that caster sugar will start to bring the moisture out of the rhubarb and almost start to cook it. So it's going to start that cooking process for us. We'll leave that to sit for about 5 minutes, and while that's sitting, we'll get our pastry sheets ready. All we want to do, I'll just put a little pinch of salt in there with that as well while I think about it. Puff pastry, just a couple of sheets. I'm just going to cut them into squares. So in half, and then in half again. I'm going to pop those squares onto a lined baking tray. And I'm just going to make 4, but this will make you probably double that. Which 4 times 2 is, yes, you're right, 10. No. 8. Same with this one, and these will be the top. So we're going to build our little pies here, and then we'll put tops on top, because that's where tops go, on top. All right, so they're cut, ready to go. Our rhubarb will just give a little bit longer. And again, while we're waiting for that, I'll get a spoon. I'm just going to get some almond meal and sprinkle some almond meal on top of our little squares here. And the almond meal is going to mix with the juice from the rhubarb and create sort of like a frangipane. You can see I've tried to keep that almond meal about 1 centimetre in from the edges of the pastry so that I can seal the pastry. Rhubarb, you can see how much moisture there is in there now. That sugar has started to leach some moisture out of our rhubarb. If you've ever cooked with rhubarb before, you'll know that once this gets a little bit of heat, it's going to fall apart inside of our little parcel, and that will be our pie filling. All right, they're done. Now, some egg wash, so just an egg into a little ramekin. We'll whisk that up. I'm just going to paint that along the sides. That's a little space that I've kept clean on our pastry. And then for our tops, peel them off. Place our tops on top. And then with a fork, just close them up. All done. Now to finish off, a little bit more of our egg wash on top. And then once you've painted them, just to reinforce that almond flavour and to give it a nice little look, we'll get some sliced almonds and just sprinkle them on top. Nice even layer. And just a little nick in the top of each one just to let the steam escape, because there's a lot of moisture in that rhubarb which will turn to steam. Into an oven, 180 degrees until they're golden and brown.